Hi, this is Cecilia from Tarot by Cecilia, and this is your love and finance tarot guidance for the month of June 2016. Yes, it's June already. Can you believe it? I have a couple of things I want to say first before I start. I think the first one of these I did was not until November. I was waiting planetarily for some things to be right in order to start doing these. And I can't believe at first I had my doubts, but this has grown to be an awesome video every month. And I think we went over 10,000 views for the month of May. So I can't thank all of you enough from the bottom of my heart. My blog, my page, they're not even a year old yet. So, the feedback and the number of people is phenomenal, and I'm really touched and overwhelmed by it. And I also want to thank everyone for all of the likes, the comments, the shares. How many of you tag your friends and say, hey, you've got to hear this, you've got to read this? It's greatly appreciated. Because if I thought I was going along, and mind you, it's not about the likes, comments, and shares, but if I thought I was going along and my messages, my tarot readings weren't helping anyone, then I think I wasn't meeting my purpose. But your feedback, really tells me that I am hopefully helping. And I like hearing that, and I like knowing it. That's why one of the reasons that I started my group, so that we could get together and talk over there about things that are going on. Now, again, thank you. And let's talk about what's going on this month. This is a big month. This has been on my radar since like last August, okay, when I first did the Saturn in Sagittarius. And I said, okay, I'm going to stop in June because June is a big turning point. So it's almost like a big step off point in my mind's eye that, we're at the beginning of something by the time we get to the end of the month. At a glance, some people might say, there's not a whole lot going on. But yes, there is. And off the top of my head, there's one thing, I can't remember what it was, but it's actually important, and I think it involves Jupiter on the 26th. So we'll have to look into that, and I will talk about it on another video. But Mercury will finally be entering Gemini on June the 12th. It's been stuck in Taurus, slow moving Taurus for so long. That's why all that retrograde energy and all of the energies were in Taurus back then, pretty much. And it was starting to weigh people down too much. They didn't know how much more they could take of it. So that's been moving along, and that'll be the last one. Everything else pretty much in the first half of this month is in Gemini. There will be a new moon in Gemini on the 4th, okay? And so the first half is pretty much Gemini. Keep that in mind. And then, of course, we're going to switch over to Cancer in the later part of the month, where the sun will go into Cancer and also Venus will enter Cancer. So we'll start to have a nicer mix, I think a nicer balance of energies and planet placements, and it will feel good. It's just kind of flowing as we get into June. Now, here's one of the things that I want to mention. If any of you, sometimes I wish I would write things down, because the full moon in Sagittarius that was on May 21st, it was at the first degree of Sagittarius. Now, the full moon in June is also in Sagittarius, but at 29 degrees. So, let's put it this way, people. Don't be surprised if something that came up May 21st, or real close to May 21st, comes back around, when you get to the full moon in Sagittarius on the 20th. Oh boy, what does that mean? I think it means something different for everyone, but you'll know what it is when you see it. You're like, this again? I got to do this again? Oh my God. But you know what? You're going to get it done, and that's it. And it's going to be one way or it's going to be the other way, but it will be resolved. Okay? And that's pretty much my planet scenario here of what I see going on. also, oh my God, the most important thing to me, Mars goes direct on June 29th. Hallelujah. All those things you've been chomping at the bit to do, those new things in your life, new projects you want to start. When Mars goes direct, it's like all systems go. You get Mercury out of the way this month. It goes out of shadow. June the 7th is the last day of that. June the 8th, you're clear. The 12th, you're in Gemini. It's back in its home sign. So it's like one of those things. I want to use the words, the planets are beginning to align in your favor. That gives me the chills to say that. It feels good. It feels good. All right, so let's take a look at the cards. I know I've talked too much already. Now, the month starts off with you looking at your direction. All right, which way do you want to go? So many of you have begun to realize that there's this whole new path ahead. It's not even a path that's been cleared for you. It's a new one that you need to make choices in. Which way are you going to go? Which direction should you take? And the direction that you take needs to be the one that's going to carry you for the long haul. This is not about short-term fixes. This is really and truly about how do you wish to lead your life? What will work for you? I think a lot of blessings this month. It's probably the best word I can use for it, because I think as the month begins and as it progresses and as we get to the new moon, there's just a really good feeling. This is a very special new moon. And, it's like optimism. Optimism has sort of been absent with all that heavy retrograde, energy that was going on. It was just too much for everyone. So now there's this like restless energy, not as much physical. Some of it is physical, okay, but you still have Mars retrograde, so it's like maybe that energy level's a little low. But mentally, with Mercury direct now and getting ready to get out of shadow, yeah, your mind is starting to focus more clearly. You have more clarity and a whole lot less fog as each day passes. I love this. All right, so you kind of like are ready and you kind of know what that path is, which direction you want to take and where you want to set off. So still working on things, all right? Some things aren't quite ready to be unveiled, but the time is coming. Keep that in mind. One of the really big things that I see here for this month is that there is, I want to call it freedom. There is an issue. There is something from which you will finally feel free. Something that has held you back, no matter what you did, no matter what you've changed. So many of you have changed some big things in your life since the new moon that we had last October, but you haven't quite achieved what it was you were really trying to do because you couldn't figure out how to do it. And, that's changing this month. It could very well be a happening thing that you're making really good progress with, untying your hands and saying, yes, I can move forward. I have that freedom. I can reach my goals. The universe is taking me to where I need to be. I can stand up for my rights. I feel like I can defend myself. Clarity, wisdom, an amazing shift in attitude, and a real sense of organization here, okay? There are things that have happened in your life 5 years beyond that have created situations that you're just like, I do not ever want to do this again, ever, okay? And that's it. You are very clear-headed as to whatever it takes to bring all of this to fruition and to just bury it once and for all. Absolutely. And will you do it? Yes, you will. Okay. This is phenomenal. But a lot of it took finally reaching the mindset, having the planets in the right place and reaching the mindset to be able to achieve these things. Every time you thought before and you tried and the timing wasn't right, planets weren't right. Oh my goodness. And it was just very frustrating for a while there. But we are talking about ending. Ending. It's such a good thing. Oh my goodness. Now, intuitively. You kind of know with certain relationships which ones you belong in, which ones you don't. There's like a lot of, I want to say, reckoning taking place this month. Um, how to deal with them, how to maintain peace and harmony. So your view of how you handle people, and I don't mean handle as in manipulate or anything like that. And, it's the old, biting your tongue. And someone reminded me the other day that I always say, you get more flies with honey than with vinegar. So really tempering your words and using your intuition. Sometimes you have to look beyond what someone else is saying and know what it really is that it might be bugging them, okay? And it may not be you. This is always that reminder that I have for everyone around the full moon even. Like, don't take it out on someone else, okay? They didn't do it, all right? So, it messes up the love thing. Now, there's something very interesting here. Anyone who's ever spoken to me knows I don't do reversals, but every once in a while, something will come up that's really significant, and I see a couple reverse cards here. I left them that way, all right? Because I want to talk about this, all right? There is this whole dumping going on, all right? And the dumping is an emotional one. It is a good way, a good thing, because whatever you're ridding yourself of this month, there is an emotional attachment to it, whether it was a person, a place, a thing, and it's in your best interest. It makes you stronger, and it actually gives you a better feeling of self. Like that, I'm good as me. I love me. It doesn't matter about anything. I'm telling you, I've watched as I do these every month, and all of you are growing. And your feelings of self-worth and the amount of self-reliance that you have and the things that you've achieved. A year ago, you couldn't have imagined that you would have done the things that you've done. So many of you have switched jobs. You started major, let's just say major overhauls of your life and how you're handling them, whether it's through the legal system or anything else. There is so much taking place here. And, the result is a more secure you. And this is a very awesome, awesome thing. I really have to tell you. So, just like dumping that emotional garbage, go ahead and do it, because you will be glad that you did. Now, for so many, the past 5 years has been a big, big issue. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Pretty much that's when it started. I think most people can count and say there were 5 years that contained some really rough times. Finances could have been bad. Love life could have been lacking. Things were just in general very much going wrong. Life imploded. Okay. Now, what I see here, and I love when I get the chills. This has happened to me for years. But I have to tell you, it's like the dawn of a new day. By the time you get to the end of this month, you're turning your back on all of this. You're still maintaining a very secure belief system. You're still rebuilding, okay? But this is a whole new fresh start. It's a brand new day. And I'm like, oh my goodness, can it even possibly be that there's just this huge turnaround that gives you a new perspective? Remember I said Mars goes direct on June 29th. And I have a feeling that by the time you get to June the 30th, you're standing there going, what just happened? What just happened? Like all of a sudden this month, so many things shifted. You feel freer. You feel more carefree, and you're ready for that next part. Remember, I have said that when you get to June, you're getting to a new part. So I'm glad to see that the cards decided to be consistent, which they have been all along, and, backing me up on this, because here we are. Now, one of the things that I have to say when it comes to wishes, all right, hopefully what you're wishing for is realistic, but it needs to be, making wishes in a practical manner. Because honestly, I can say, be careful what you wish for. You just might get it. Question is, if you get it, will you be ready for it? Okay, some people think they know exactly what they want, and a lot of what this has been that's going on has been redirecting them. Transition is very predominant in this reading here, and you're really hitting the beginning. I mean, you've been going through a transition, trying to get you to this new place. But when you get to this new place, you're finally getting to that transition of good that's taking you on to where you, I want to say where you want to be, but I don't think you knew you were headed there. That's the best part. Okay, I think you're going to be surprised. So, just do your best to remain grounded, stay down to earth. The changes are going to be exciting. And, your vision is going to be an extremely creative one. It's like all of a sudden you're like, okay. And, you know, you're at a point where I started at the beginning saying, about making choices. You're going to go, nah, because where before, this time last year, it was like all that with your hands being tied, and it was like, choices? What choices? I don't have any choices. Everything is wrong, and every time I try to fix something, I can't. No matter how many ideas you came up with, no matter how many ideas your friends came up with. Oh my goodness. This has all changed. It has all changed. And in the course of a year. And here you are. A new beginning. I'm telling you. A new beginning. You are, it's like saying starting from scratch in a way. Because you're creating a whole new life. No matter what you've already started doing. Some of you have started new jobs over, like I said, since October. I'm putting down more cards because I want to see here what else is going on. And a lot of what is going on is change. And it's coming over the next 3 months. Okay? You're going to do a lot of moving forward. Woohoo! A lot of moving forward. A lot of doing away with things. I really like this. The whole concept of taking back control of your life, not, leaving everything to chance. Not, we can't blame the universe. We can't blame anyone else for the things that have happened. Yeah, it's just the way it is. So, getting all of your details worked out. Yeah, you have a lot to do. And I want to say, like, July, August, September. All right. You really have a lot to take care of. So, what will you be doing? Let's see, we have, yeah, so much that's been survived. And then all of a sudden, there you are. I just feel like at the end of June, you're standing there and you're going, wow, there's my future. And you're so ready to rush forward and like you're just done with it. That's it. You're back in charge of things. So what are you going to do about it? All right. There's some good luck thrown in here. Okay. Which I really, really like. And a caution to, boy, I don't like seeing this, but I just feel like it's about reality and not being too attached to, I want to say what you wanted, because it goes back over here to the what you wanted and what you were wishing for. I think you have to make some adjustments. All right? Yeah. You're going to like the way it turns out. Trust me. Okay, it's just the idea that, you kind of have to break free from those thought patterns that might still hold you back. That's something different for everyone. With all the progress that you've made and, all this motion that wants to come into your life, I think come July, you're really looking at the reality of what you thought you wanted versus what you could probably have. And that's a big difference, my friends. A big, big difference. So maintain your patience with everything. Take good care of yourself. Take good care of your health. All right? I do feel the need to emphasize that once in a while. And just keep making sure that what I don't see here is the like, yeah, go take a vacation thing. Okay. I'm thinking that, continuing hard work toward these goals is in order. But I think by around October, you're going to go, okay, wow, look where I'm at. All right. So I'm going to stop there. And I think this is an awesome, awesome month coming up. And again, I can't thank you all enough for everything that you do. I'll see you here again next month. Take care.